Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS AM 1220, FM 98.1, and online, yourhomestation.com. So we've talked, we're mortgage lenders, so we're very interested in real estate. And Fred and I have had discussions about how we really feel real estate and home price or home values and home ownership is really going to help this economy return, because it's the one area that's been so strong. But, we've talked about this before, but for people that haven't had a chance to hear it, Fred, and I know we go into this, but let's talk about it again. Why should you be buying a house right now? What are the advantages, and how is it to work right now?
Well, first of all, if you have a job and you're able to save some money, and you're, perhaps renting, or a lot of people are renting. They're paying $2,200 to $2,500 a month. And what happened, Dave, at the beginning of the year, but it started at the beginning of last year, 2019, and that is interest rates started to drop. They dropped from 5%. We're getting people 30-year fixed rates in the 5% range.
Yeah.
To 2% lower. In some cases, depending on your credit score, loan amount, with an APR that's maybe 15 basis points higher in many cases. And so what that did is, even though the values are going up, which slows affordability, makes it less affordable to buy a house, interest rates plummeted,
right? Which
means that your payment's going to be less.
Correct.
Because it's based on payment. What can I afford for my payment? And so I think that alone has allowed an opportunity for people to jump into this market. The other thing that's happened over the last 10 years, I would say 7 of the years were really dominated by people that had all cash.
Right.
And so if your children wanted to buy 3 or 5 or 10% down, they were bidding against a lot of people that were all cash, that were not worried on whether the house would appraise. And if you're only putting 3% down, you need the house to appraise for what you're paying, or 3.5% down or 5% down. But all cash buyers were coming in saying, hey, it doesn't matter to us. We're going to buy it. We're going to hold on to it for a long time. We're going to buy it. We're going to renovate it. We're going to sell it because values are going up. So a lot of people got locked out of the home buying process, which means there's this pent-up demand where people are going to want to buy homes. So perhaps you're only getting outbid by 1 or 2 people, not 8 or 9.
Right.
Perhaps you're getting outbid because of your strategy. So let's talk about strategy, because if now's the right time, well, first of all, if you see a house and you haven't inspected it completely, is it okay to buy sight unseen? As long as you have the inspection contingency in there, where you can inspect the property to your specifications,
right,
you're going to be okay, because you can get out of the deal for anything you don't like about the house.
Right.
And so we're seeing a lot of people that might see it once really quick, in and out, and that Uncle Jack didn't get to go in there to give his critique, or your parents or a friend. But you'll have that time when they do the inspection, the physical inspection. And so I think it's a good time, because a lot of people aren't out there buying relative to pre-COVID, or when people were just paying cash for the property. The other thing is the creativity of it, and that is, when interest rates dropped so dramatically, let's just use the numbers. For every $100,000 you buy, Dave, of a house, and let's say you put 5% down. For every $100,000 loan, you're going to pay $500 a month, a little under $500 a month. So if you bought a house for $400,000, the payment's only $2,000,
right,
plus tax and insurance.
Right.
So if you do the math, $400,000 loan, you're paying $2,000. Taxes, insurance on a $450 house, let's say 5% down, a $425 house, $420. You're only looking at maybe $450, $460 in taxes, and then you got some insurances on top of that. You're only paying about $2,700 a month for a house that you're probably going to rent for $2,200, $2,300. You're also paying down equity. You're paying down principal to help build. So as your principal gets driven down, your wealth builds up. You get a tax deduction in some cases. But the one thing that people benefit so dramatically is increase in value.
Right.
If you buy a $500,000 house, it goes up by 5%. first of all, you put 5% down on a $500,000 house. That's $25,000.
Right.
If it goes up in value 5% in 1 year, you made $25,000.
Right.
Where can you go and make double your money the first year?
Yeah. Not very often.
Yeah, and then that's assuming values go up by 5%. Now we talked about the 4 L's.
Right.
And the 4 L's: land, legal, labor, and lumber on why homes aren't being built. You just have a supply and demand problem.
Yeah.
And so there's so many reasons on why it makes sense to buy a house.
Now, one of the things that, because you mentioned this even as we're talking right now, because I do a little shameless plug. I do first-time home buying seminars. I'm actually doing one.
You're doing one tonight, right?
Tonight for
Yeah.
Matador's Community Credit Union. If you go on their
Supposed to be
website,
a big crowd.
yeah, we're supposed to have like about 40 to 50 people online this time. So
That's fantastic.
I'm excited about it. It'll be great. Again, Matador's Community Credit Union. If you go on there, you can check the Zoom link for it. But
So wait a second, matadors.org.
yes, matadors.org.
.org, and then you can register for it
Yeah.
and get it. And you don't have to be a Matador.
No. I mean, they're great, but
yeah, Matadors are. I mean, that's a dangerous career.
yes, it is. Yeah, just don't wear red, and you should be fine. But when I do these, I can't believe I hear this, but I still hear people thinking they have to have great credit and they have to put 20% down.
Yeah.
And it's just not true.
Yeah, you can get away with no money down on a VA loan.
Yeah.
One of the greatest things you've earned as a veteran is a no money down VA opportunity, and we're seeing people, get. And the VA interest rates are phenomenal.
Yeah,
they're better than the conventional. We're not supposed to mention rates on there because then we have all that disclosure where the guy talks really fast and says something, But rates are phenomenal on VA, no money down. You can go 3.5% down FHA. You can go 3% down on Fannie Freddie if your income doesn't meet a certain, doesn't exceed a certain limit. You can go 5% down. Doesn't matter what your income is, as long as your loan amount's below $765,000.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's some good opportunities.
There really are.
You can go 10% down. We found one recently was, I think I did a 10% down to $1.3 million. And there's all kinds of combinations of loans depending on your credit score and qualifications. So yeah, you don't have to have 20% down.
You don't, and you don't have to have phenomenal credit either. I mean, I tell people all the time that if I find somebody that's making $100,000 a month, I don't care what their credit score is. I'm gonna be able to find them a house. So.
But I had a guy that was making $5,000 a year. He's putting $100,000 down because of an inheritance. Mm-hmm. He's buying the house he lives in for $450,000. Not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
never owned a home. He's like 60 years old. Good for him.
Absolutely, and there's so many different things and so many different ways that we can work with people, and that's one of the great things about American Family Funding is, and Fred having been in the business for 29 years, he doesn't like to say 30 years, but 29 years, is we're so creative. We can find ways to help people out in almost every situation. Yeah,
or teach them how to do it. I got a question for Patty.
Okay.
So Patty's our board operator. For those of you that we don't put him on screen online. He's kind of behind the scenes. Patty.
Yes, sir.
Let me run something by. You're in your 20s, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So rent. What would either you're paying or some of your friends paying? Give me an idea how much rent would be.
Rent, I believe I have a couple friends that pay about like $700.
$700?
Yeah,
they must be renting a room then.
Yeah, they're renting a room.
Yeah, so the great thing is if you buy a house and your payment's $3,000 a month, and you get 2 roommates paying $700 each. Now your house payment is, let's do the math, $1,500. Yeah. You're paying hardly anything, right?
Yep.
Rent. So a 2 plus 2 in the Santa Cruz Valley probably average about $2,300.
Yeah, something like that.
For a newer place.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So what if you were able to scrape together? From your trust account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask your parents where it's at when you see them. You could probably, if you needed to scrape together 3.5% of $400,000, you could probably come up with that 15. If you worked long enough, right?
Yeah, I think
Moved
so.
in with home, save some money, right?
Yeah.
Can you believe you could get into a house for $400,000, and I say, let's say a condo, and your payment would be under $2,300, $2,400 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you rent a room or two.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, 23 plus 7, now you're paying $700 for rent. Is that math right? No, about
pretty-
1,000.
1,000, yeah.
$1,000 or thereabouts, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, there's some opportunities and ways to do it, even for those that don't think they can.
Yeah, that's the thing is you really get to change that mindset of I can't to I can, especially if I talk to somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. So good show.
Yeah, great show. We love it. We always like being helpful. Always having fun guests on like Ed.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw it out there. If you're thinking about refinancing, give your local mortgage professional a call. You can call Dave or myself at American Family Funding. Dave, the number there?
Number for me directly is 661-505-4368, and our main line is 661-284-1150.
Yep. You get me. My cell, I'll give it my cell, 818-612-5626. Feel free to text me. I'll answer it. I love doing what I'm doing. I love helping people restructure their debt to optimize their wealth. And I think that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And we're going to get Patty into a home. Give me a deadline, Patty. Well, give me a date.
Let's go with December 31st.
All right.
You got it.
Oh, did he throw that out there? Or was he
He didn't say what year.
Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your week. Going to be a beautiful weekend.
Yeah.
If you'd like to catch us, we're every Thursday at 2 to 3. HometownStation.com, AM 1220, FM 98.1, and Facebook Live. For Dave Cantrell, I'm Fred Arnold. I hope you enjoyed the show.